EA Sports coverage of the National Football League comes to you from Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, Michigan. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Atlanta Falcons. The veteran Matt Bryant set to rock and roll. And we are underway from Ford Field. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Brooks Reed with a tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Stafford now to throw. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hey, give me radar.
Stafford on 1st down. And it's complete to Luke Wilson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Steps away to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away but could not. Bruce Carter with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Freeman again, a first down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Let's go. 11. Hey, sit on it. 25. 20. Let's go.
They snap it at 1. Now Ryan. He's going to rifle one deep left into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
After the interception, here's Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 95 yards. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Charles, last week, the Atlanta Falcons, that was the game that you had against the Green Bay Packers. And another loss, 5 in a row now. It's been quite a fall from Super Bowl 51, has it not been?
It certainly has, and it's hard to truly explain. They've had plenty of injuries on defense, but at one point they had won 3 in a row, had gotten themselves back to 4-4, and were headed to Cleveland, looking like they had a bunch of momentum. They got whacked in Cleveland and haven't been the same team since. Julio Jones had a big game in Green Bay on Sunday. Had 8 catches, 106 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 4 of those and a touchdown came on their first drive. Not much after that.
And this loss that last week, that guarantees that they're going to have their first losing record since 2014. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
21.
Third and long. It's Ryan. He's going to float this one deep right side. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On first down, it's Stafford. Out to the flat for Reddick. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
11.
Stafford. They'll get this one to Galladay. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. A little juke. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Give me radar. Zero.
From the red zone now, Stafford. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson from 17 yards out. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Prater on to add the extra point. Extra point good by Prater. And that makes our score 17-0. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
He's going to try and go deep again. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again, Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Let's go.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Ryan, he goes underneath to Freeman. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a second down.
Hey, Tuesday. 11. Sit up.
Ryan will throw again. And it's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Let's go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, Ryan. Looking deep for Julio. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
11.
The final shot before the break, Stafford. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. That's it for the first. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the linebacker, Jared Davis. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game.
Ready. Go ahead, baby. Go. Mike's 42.
Just beating the play clock. Stafford. This is Reddick on the screen. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
That last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Screen play, Johnson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Stafford will stay out there. He'll lead his guys up to go for it on 4th down.
0. 21. Mike, 55. Check, 50.
They snap it to Stafford. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Okay, with that incompletion, I've been waiting to get this in because I wanted to ask you about that crazy finish in Miami. How in the world did they find their way to the end zone?
That was something, wasn't it? And I've seen a few along the way. In college football, Boise State over Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl. You remember that one?
Yep.
With the hook and lateral play, and they had a bunch of crazy plays down the stretch. But this one in the NFL.
And this is taken in at the 5. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. 56 yards. So the first connection there, Ryan to Jones, and certainly a big reason they're losing on the scoreboard.
As they go as a connection, it's Pierce, so goes the team. And they need to be on the same page, in sync. And they really wish it could have been earlier in the game. Now they've got some ground to make up.
Get up!
It's Coleman here. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And the offense will hold on to this one right at the 5-yard line. Lucky there.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Well, I didn't have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one. But I don't think they're built like that.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try and throw for him with Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley from 4 yards out. And the Falcons get a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tech McKinley, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. He gets this one to Bruce Ellington. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw, Stafford. And that's complete. It's Ellington. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Stafford now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4.
Here we go. Tight end right. 3 down. Hot. Hey. Good. 21.
On 1st and 10, Stafford dumping it off for Johnson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They go to Johnson again. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Stafford. Caught. It's Ellington. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Ryan on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Throwing here, Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Play action. Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. Breaks through the contact. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. To throw on second down is Stafford. Out to the flat for Redden. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that guy?
Yeah. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Theo Riddick, 14 yards. And the Lions add on to their lead. So now Stafford will bring up the Lions, and they'll go for 2. Here's Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And they're going to have really good starting field position here, as that's taken up close to the 40. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the gun, it's Ryan. And the pressure gets to him again. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. One last shot for Ryan. He's going to let it fly. And now here is another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And Charles, I think... EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. The City of Angels showing it can be loud and raucous. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad emerged from the tunnel. They're ready for football and ready to watch their Rams do battle with the Atlanta Falcons. The veteran Matt Bryant set to rock and roll, and we are underway here in Los Angeles. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. On 1st and 10, Goff. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter? I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Here's Ryan. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss a one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 36 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Well, the Los Angeles Rams, not yet owners of a first-round bye. They have clinched the NFC West, first in the NFL to win their division. But last week, surprisingly, only put up 6 points in that loss at Chicago.
Not surprising overall in terms of defensive struggle, because you had the last 2 defensive players of the year in the NFL playing in that game. Aaron Donald for the Rams and Khalil Mack for the Bears, and the Bears have been strong on deep.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A shotgun snap for gone. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Goff. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a 1st down throw, gone. And Cooks has it over the middle. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one goes for 24 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Gone. This will be caught at about the 5. No gain there on the completion. It'll be 2nd down. If you're going to pass down here, you better get that in the end zone.
I agree with you totally, and as we both know, the field's already condensed. There's just not a lot of space, so you've got to create some by getting some people downfield into the end zone. If you want to throw it short, you've got to have some movement, some room in order to do that. That one didn't work.
Here's Gall. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Bruce caught it with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And they finally get him down, but not before he gets it up to the 46. A big run there by Freeman, 42 yards. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Hey, express! Gun! Let's go!
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. CD, by the way, we have some news from the esports world. First major of the new year. The Madden Classic was held in Las Vegas during Week 14 of the NFL season. 170 players.
Yeah, did you see the money?
Over $150,000 in prize money.
Not so bad, huh?
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
And your winner, I'll let you do the honors for the second straight year.
Michael Skimbo, second straight year. The man walks away with the money and the championship.
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Ndamukong Suh coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down. They'll run it. Freeman with a fast feet. And he's taken down inside the 30. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive?
4th and 1. I don't think Wild Horses could have dragged that quarterback off the field. He was motioning to go for it from the start. And sure enough, it's the ground game that gets him the 1st down.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Ryan. Flushed out right. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. That one goes for 24 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Tiger, Tiger.
On 1st down, gone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vic Beasley in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't.